Looks like we're live. Just gonna jump right into it. Welcome everyone. Since today may be shorter, I'm not sure. It's been a hell of a week. I'm tired, both physically and mentally, but no excuses. I'm not feeling sick. You know, I don't have to protect my wrist. My wrist is fine. I do have to protect my wrist, but it's feeling good today. So, those are pretty much the only things that'll keep me. It's my health, and I'm just tired. So we're gonna do this. So this is what I settled on. I don't know if it's a great hand. I don't know if it's a good hand, but it is a hand. After I essentially decided, found someone willing enough to, just put their hand down a little bit. I also fixed this hand up here. That's literally all I've been able to do because life has literally been shitting on me. Like, I didn't get any practice done other than these hands. And I'm like, well, I did get the hair. And that's it. And I was like, oof, man, I need more time. Life hates me right now. But hey. So, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lock that one, lock that, not lock that one. But now we're gonna hide everything. Because now we're gonna draw our second character on this. Yep, I'm not abandoning that issue or that topic. Hey Gabriel, good to see you again, my dude. So, what do we want to do with her? The second character is going to be a female. Originally, I was going to have her flying overhead in an attempt to escape as well. I think I do have a reference for that one. Just give me a second. Hey Vucky, welcome back as well. It's always good to see my regulars. Hope you all are doing great. Because my week was hell. And when my week is hell, I just hope everyone else is having a good week. Happened? Just a lot of little stuff that's just been piling up. Like, just a lot of little things here and there that just really chipped away at me this week. Not today. Well, today as well, but yeah. I have with me now some new learnings. Awesome. I would love to see those. I'm looking through my book to see if there's at least a skeleton I can kind of copy, or at least use as a reference. To give you an example of what happened, trying to put in some window stuff, some window tinting for, I want to say, 4 hours, only for it to fall apart at the very end. So 4 hours wasted. It's a small little thing, but those kind of things that just, a lot of little things like that just piled on this week, and I was like, man. Oh well, I learned that to gain visibility on Twitter, you need to have a fandom. Yeah. Definitely. I would love to do fan art, but I want to do my own work first, and then do fan art. I'm not so crazy about growing just yet, as I am still in the learning process. If people will show up to, support me, like you guys, that's great. I love you guys for that. And words cannot express how much I appreciate you guys showing up for like 90% of my streams. But with that being said, what am I even a fan of? There's a lot of things like I'm a very shallow fan of. Like, nowadays I'm way too busy to like fully, devote myself to such like readings and whatnot. But, I catch as much as I can. AKA when I'm eating. That's really the only me time I have. That's a good question, though. I would say, like, recently I had become a fan of sword art. The first season, I really enjoyed the first season. Now I'm just watching it because, I had come to like it during the first season. The consecutive seasons were meh to me, but I'm already committed. Whoever does the artwork, I'm linking on the name of the artist, one of the main artists that does sword art. Their work is, I love that style. This is going to be a little weird because I'm kind of out of room on the canvas. And I'm going to have to be overlapping this person with the other person. Kind of a big head. Can you guys see the penciling? I've recently switched over to the pencil. It's a little bit lighter on my eyes, but I'm afraid that you really can't see it up on the stream. I'm drawing a character in the lap of another. It's so confusing. Oh yeah, so that's another thing. I do want to do couples soon. Uh, it's really light, but you can see it. Okay, as long as it's not too light that you can't even see it, because it is a little bit softer on my eyes. So, yeah, but towards the back of the example book that I'm using, or the teaching book, I should say, they have couple pairings for poses, and that is one thing that I'm actually wanting to draw. Not a big fan of romance as far as when it comes to that's the primary topic, but I do like a secondary I do like romance on the side from a main story. So I think that in any superheroes, balancing romance along with being a superhero is kind of iconic. It kind of shows that you really can't do that. Just friendly friends here. To each their own. I grew up with, Superman and Lois, Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Like, to me, those are the icons of, like, balancing superhero stuff and, trying to keep a semblance of a normal life. Okay, so you won't see that shoulder. I'm not one, a romance. The guy talks about action lines. They help so much with in. Oh, with posing. Okay. Action lines. Are you talking about like the perspective lines? Where you're drawing the actual perspective of the person? Like, like that? My person would actually be more like that. Nope, it lines that control the overall pose. Interesting. I would have to essentially see it to. Okay, so To not look stiff? Oh, okay. So our waist is going to be like right there. Which means our growing is going to end around there. Legs are going to overlap on the hip. No, they're not. Not on the hip. That's a lie. So that's the waist. I need to be making the back more curved. Okay. Then we have the general chest, not including any of the breast yet. Too big. Oop, there goes my book. Definitely make this person way too big. Comparison. So let's shrink her down. She is going to be flying in behind him. That could be good right there. But also tilt it in like that, like she's coming out from the sky. Okay. So arm on this side. Can't see the shoulder. Let's see. Arm would come around the eye line. And this arm is at a slight angle and will be shorter. Oh, much shorter. Okay. Oh, I know, right? It's like, I'm just gonna move this, tweak it here, throw it across my canvas. Who cares where I draw it initially? We don't talk about wrong layers. We praise digital art till we. You're right, man. You're absolutely right. It's like, time to save my drawing. I drew everything on the wrong layer. Yeah. Okay, so. For this one, they recommend. Oops. Wrong tool. Scream internally. Yep. Yep. Okay, this is a little confusing. That's weird. Okay. So for this one, because their perspective is changing pretty rapidly, they recommend drawing out lines like that. I may have made the legs too long for this perspective. It's okay if we erase the skeleton. I'm the other dude. We've already used it. I'm trying to visualize the idea. Okay, so this chick is going to be flying in slightly behind him, which this may still be a little bit too big for that idea. Almost like if he was running in this direction and she came in flying in this direction to gain cover. And they're kind of crisscrossing paths. Get a little bit of my soda as my throat is kind of killing me right now. Didn't even have time to get coffee. That's how bad this week was. relying on soda right now. Yeah, I know, right? That's what happens when you can't even have time to go get coffee. I really hate it because, like, my local coffee shop, they're always packed. Like, always packed. And I'm like, go home, people. If someone offers you a free cursed painting, do you take it? Hell no. Why do that to yourself? That's like saying, you know, these bullets are free, but you know, it's because I get to shoot them at you. What someone can ever do with a cursed painting? Be cursed. Oh, I don't actually want the actual pose that this thing is doing. How would a person be flying? If they have their hands out like that. Fists? Fist kind of makes sense. I made it my Discord profile pic. I don't return to any of these streams, assume I die. Yikes, dude. Don't die on me, man. You're 50% of my fan base. Alright. So now this perspective of a fist is going to be interesting. Let's see, if I'm staring at a fist from the front, what hand is that? Okay, so that would be, yeah, it would be this hand. Okay. So I did have that right to begin with. Skeleton is looking pretty clean. Nice, thank you. Thank you. Don't want the arms too bulky on this side because this is the farther one. I need the perspective of a side fist. That's too big. make sure we get our feet in. Alright, alright. I think the perspective... This is gonna... Okay. Okay. This is gonna be really, like... I'm going to... It's gonna be a little confusing where it overlaps. But I'm actually gonna have her feet behind him. I didn't know it would do that. Leaving room only for a little bit of feet to peek through past his head. Almost like they barely missed each other crashing. And I was being like choked. Let's have a... Oops. Let's have a low eye. Is... okay. No, that's a little too big. I can work with that. Just round it out a bit, and then you realize how scary manga characters are without their eyes. Yeah. She is also going to be scared. every time I draw faces, I already do the details. That's pretty good right there. No, details I want later because, you know, I want to keep things on separate layers like that. So I'm actually going to do something that's going to tilt me just a little bit. Most people, when they actually make a fist, don't keep their arm straight. It'll actually have the straight part backwards, having this more straight and this part curved. As a martial artist, that tilts me so much when I see people do that. Yeah, teach their own, Gabriel. You know, if you like the details first, by all means, stick with doing the details. You don't want to break how you do stuff. Okay. May need to add just a little more space to there. Let's get rid of that circle now. That was just for a reference of where the waist would be. How some people draw without sketching? Practice. Only comes with practice. It's like back when I was teaching martial arts. My instructor, not the, because I was teaching, but my personal instructor made things look so easy. Even some of the most complicated stuff made it look effortlessly. But that's because he's been doing it for before I was even born. People that put in the work make things look effortlessly. How do you feel to be in his place? if I ever got to his level. Um, I definitely would not compare myself to him. But you know, when I was teaching, I could do things, and some of my students were like, "How did you even do that?" It's like, well, that's because I've been training for years. Um, so it's difficult to understand, but you have to put yourself in their position of you have to remember where you came from. Seeing like this, I can understand just a little more. Well, that's good. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but if anything I'm doing is helping, that's, I'll take it. Would I take a free arcade cabinet? Depends on the game. I grew up with the arcades. Like, the arcades are my pastime, you know? But it's still unbelievable. I know, right? Yeah. I switch of topics kind of threw me off. Uh, had to reel myself back into what we were talking about. A free arcade cabinet. Yeah, it depends on the game. Uh, One, I don't have the room for it. I live in a really small place. Um, but if I had the room for it and someone was like, "Hey, I have this old arcade. Think you would want it?" I might give it a thought. Maximum force? Mm, I don't know if I would even play it. Like, even if I had the room, that's one of the games I never really played. That was more my brother's thing. Now, if it was like Soul Edge, I played the hell out of that in the arcade. This is far too big. I just checked my reference and I was like, it's supposed to be bigger, not cannon arm size. I got a little too excited. Don't want them cannon arms. Alright. It's time for a mirror. See you, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by again. I'm probably not going to be on too much myself. I kind of want to catch some Z's myself, just because of how awful the week has been. I will take that good luck and run with it. So, what's a good time to stop? How long have I've been doing this for an hour? Okay. Let's work on the details of the face and then we can call it. Because I am now starting to feel my back is hurting. Ironically, ever since I switched my setup and I actually got my drawing pad and I have it's still a ghetto setup, but you know, it's a much better setup. I really haven't had back problems. But because what I had to do this week, there was a lot of heavy lifting, and hello? Drawing pad. Hello? Thank you. Because there was a lot of heavy lifting involved, my back is sore. Not necessarily hurting, but it is sore, for sure. Gotta keep that spooked facial expression. This needs to be more that. Oops. I want to make sure that the entire eye is showing. Makes great for feared expressions. You have to remember that she's going to be looking off in this direction. Same direction that the dude is looking in. Don't know what kind of hair I'm going to give her. Probably just long and wavy. The chest area is actually too long now that I'm looking at it. Very stretched. Go. Let's take a look at that. That's better. Let's go ahead and make sure this is connected properly. So it'll be something like that. Seems to be a lot of freckles around her eye. There we go. Here, and I'm gonna call it that way I don't burn myself out this week. But at least we're doing something. At least we got something done. You know, I wouldn't have been happy with myself if I couldn't get anything done. Clean this up just a bit, just for my own sanity. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and save that. And that's where I'm gonna call it. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Really do appreciate you guys. I know I'm not too heavy on expanding right now. Not to say that I wouldn't like it. Um, Definitely, would love to see some more people come by. Overall, would like to actually have success with something I do for once. So, good night, Vucky. Again, thank you again. You guys showing up all the time means a lot to me. And hopefully one of these days, we can actually get this channel, and even more so, like, actually publish some comic books or whatever. But until then, I'm gonna say goodnight here, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.